Hey YouTube, WingCuber1 here with my updated Dinomorphia deck profile. Now, for the people that already seen the previous build, this build is significantly different because it has a whole nother engine in it. And it's more of a, well, you can side into a stun variant of it. I actually did play this build at Oaks, Pennsylvania, which was actually a long time ago, maybe a little over a month ago. And I ended up going 7-1 with it before I lost in the final round, unfortunately. But literally everything about the deck is the same build I played at Oaks, minus the side deck. The Lanceas were just replaced with three other cards. So I'm gonna get into this deck profile now. This is standard. She's literally what you want to have in your starting hand first. If not this, then at least a trap card. So 1500 attack. If she's normal or special, set Dinomorphia trap card directly from the deck. So it can't even be Ash, which is a very good thing about this card. It can be impermed, yeah, but it can't get ashed. So this is probably like one of the best starters that you need for this deck. 3 Diplos, Foolish Burial. Oh, by the way, yeah, the Dinomorphia monsters do float if they are destroyed by banishing a trap card from the graveyard. Forgot to mention that. But yeah, he's the one that Foolish Burials, and if it is this, and if your life points are 2,000 or less, you can burn your opponent for 5. This gains 500 attack if your life points are 2,000 or less. So you can probably guess that all of the Dinomorphia monsters have an advantage when your life points are lower and lower. Miscellaneousaurus, I actually didn't play it before, I don't think. But it's not a bad card. This actually is like one of your outs to imperm if your hand is actually really bad. But most of the time, you probably won't really need it. And here's the engine that I am talking about. You literally just play 1 and 1. 1 Ecclesia, 1 Knighted. If you control an extra deck monster, these both can come out for free. You can search a Dinomorphia, listen to me, a Domatica card from your deck. But literally, this is the only small engine that I was playing in there, and this engine is really actually good. It's very, very good. I never needed to play more than 1. I think 1 and 1 is fine. You'll see why I'm saying that when you get into the profile. But this is the literal monster. It's just 9 monsters. No hand traps. No monster hand traps anyway, I should say. Into the spell cards. Standard. Fossil Dig. Most of your deck is dinosaurs. I don't know why you would not play less than 3. Polyduality. The only monster you really going to probably special summon at most on your turn will probably be these, which you probably don't need to on your first turn anyway. So, yeah, less than 3, I don't understand. Tunidia Servant. It's just for consistency. I know you only play 1 and 1. But it is for consistency. But it shown up a lot. You can also recycle from the graveyard too also. So if your Dogmatica monster is in the graveyard, you can recycle it from the graveyard. Call by the Grave, pretty standard. Not going to really get into that. I only play 1 Triple Tactics. It's not needed per se. A lot of people play more than 1. I only play 1 because if I do see it, I see. If I don't, I don't. It's not really like necessary. So I only play 1. Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave. I don't know why I keep making mistakes like that. Card of Demise. You only play 9 monsters. Most of your deck is spell and trap cards. I like this card because if you have it opening hand with a monster and like a bunch of back row, you can Card of Demise, draw the rest of your deck, probably set more back row, and you can actually send Dinomorphia trap cards from your hand to the graveyard so it can be used as, I guess, for fodder for the Dinomorphia fusion monster, the boss monster of the deck. So I do like this card a lot. This is a very good card. I have a love-hate relationship with this card. Some people say don't play it. I can probably replace this with another Triple Tactics, but Triple Tactics is once per turn. I don't want to end up drawing into 2 of them at the same time, which is bad. So I'd rather just play 1 and 1. Trap cards. 3 domain. Best card in the deck so far until the new stuff comes out. Fusion summon from hand, field, or deck. This is the only downside. This card can get ashed, which is very sad. But you gotta try to find a way around. I mean, if it does get ashed, it gets ashed. You'll most likely end up finding a way to replace it anyway. You'll get your fusion out eventually. I played 2 Brew. I was actually playing 1 before, but this card is very good in this playing it at 2. You can always set 1 if you have, I guess, domain already set. You can set this instead, or if you have domain face down, you can always send this with the Diplos. So it's gonna be food for the Ultra at the boss monster. 1 alert, 1 Sonic. This is the Solemn of the deck. Only downside is you gotta destroy a Dinomorphia monster on your side of the field, which is fine. This is the Reborn. You summon a Dinomorphia monsters up to level 8. So you can always summon either the fusion. You can summon 1 of the fusion or 2 of the little monsters. 3 Imperm, pretty standard. Some people play 2. I play 3 because it's literally, I play no hand traps, so this is probably like the only hand trap I guess I would play. Not 3, 2. Domatica Punishment. You are playing the Domatica engine. I don't want to see 3. I will only prefer 2. So I've been fine playing it at 2. And the last of the trap cards, 3 strike and 3 warning. The way this format has been going, these 2 cards are very broken. So I played 3 and 3. I mean, there's not much to say. Negates effects and special summon monsters, inherited special summon monsters, negates monsters that would be summoned, or a spell, a trap card, or effect that would summon a monster. So I love this package right here. This package is very good. Now we're gonna get into the monster, into the fusion monster. Sorry, the extra decks. I'm probably gonna butcher his name, but I'm just gonna call it the boss monster. So she's 4K, and you can bench a normal Dinomorphia trap card. It copies the effect, and you lose life. It loses attack equal to your life points. The lowest I actually ever gotten in life points was, I think, 18. So she was already close to 4K. But yeah, I never needed to play more than 2. 2 I think is pretty fine. Same with this Stelbergia. So when he's on the field and your life points are 2,000 or less, these become free. All the trap cards become free. So Solemn Warnings are free, Solemn Judgments are free, Solemn Strikes are free, the Dinomorphia monsters are free. Not the monsters, the Fusion is free, the Dinomorphia trap cards are free. This is a very broken card, and if your opponent does activate a monster effect, you can burn them for that damage. This helped me win so many games, probably more than this, honestly. I'm not even gonna lie. 1 Doka, 1 Lagia. They're all dinosaurs, so I don't understand why not. 1 and 1 is fine. You don't need to play more than 1. The Dark Charmer. The deck is composed of dark monsters, so you know this is gonna be pretty standard. It only requires 1 dark monster anyway, and another monster. Dungarus the Timeless. So I only really play him if I'm going for OTK. So I can always have this monster, I guess. Let's say at 3,900, for example. I can activate alert on end phase, get my 2 monsters, get my 2 searches. Make this monster and double this monster's attack and possibly go for game. I'm most likely gonna have like something that will stop the opponent from stopping this effect anyway. IP, I brought it up once. It's not needed, but it is a very good card. It's not needed. Nightmare Unicorn. I have never played any deck that I don't play at least a generic Link 2 or Link 3. Because it will get to that point where you are going to get Mystic Mine. You may have 3 monsters on your side of the field. 2 monsters on your side of the field. Your opponent has none. So, and you have to play around Mystic Mine. So, if it comes down to it, Link all 3 of your monsters away, summon the Unicorn. If they have no monster, you still can attack. But now you have 1 monster. So, at the most, they're going to have to commit to a play. Abramax, very, very broken card. Especially under IP. I'm sorry, under IP. So, IP already protects the monster that it links with this by card effects, and this can't be targeted by card effects. So, and your opponent must attack this card. If they try to go through any other monster, they have to attack this first. It gains attack equal to the monster that is bound. That's special summon only, I believe. This is foreign, but I believe it's special summon monsters. But yeah, that this card is destroyed, not destroyed, but sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card. Then you shuffle a card, non-targeting back into the deck on your opponent's side of the field. Very good card. Access Code Talker, you can go for either one. You don't really have to play both. You can play one or the other, but I like playing both because I have the space for it. Access Code Talker, I don't even have to explain this. People have lost this card consistently. I think we all know what it does. The Elder Entity Nist. This isn't. Yeah, Nist. It's a Nadir Servant target to destroy a monster on your opponent's side of the field. Destroy any back row on your opponent's side of the field. So you only really need one. You don't really need more than one. Mainly because you're playing this with it. This is like another name for Domatica Punishment. You can also use this for Domatica Punishment as well. Yeah, this is just basically Recycler. They go for DP, you can Nadir Servant, put the DP back in the extra deck. Hopefully they don't draw the requirements again or recycle their Destiny Hero monsters. But yeah, this is a very great card also. And Titanclad, you play the Domaticas, why not? I mean, I have space for it, so yeah. So I'm gonna get into the side deck. The only thing that was different about my side deck previously, these was not in it. I'm actually siding Inspector Borders because Flowunderies is a very annoying deck. If you open up with this first, considering they have no real out, they can't play. This literally shuts down their entire engine. The entire engine gets shut down if they can't play around Inspector Border. They may have, I guess, a Droplet, Infinite Impermanence, but if they really have no real out, they can't play with this card on field. If you have another type of monster, Fusion, XYZ, Link, something like that, they do get an additional effect. Both players get an additional effect. But if the same type is on the field, there's no effects at all. So this shuts down Flowunderies completely. They don't ever summon Links, XYZs, or anything like that. I think the only Link they probably would summon is probably Link Karibo. That's probably the most I've ever seen. Harpy, Feather Duster, back row is a thing. People was playing Lancea, so I actually started siding these instead. I don't want to pay 1,000 life points to banish a card and it gets Lancea, then I wasted 1,000. Not that it's bad for this deck, obviously, because the lower your life points, the better. But I want to make sure I'm guaranteed to destroy something. I mean, banishing the card is always better, obviously. But MST right now, this format, nobody's playing MST. I'm not going to lie. Nobody's playing MST. But I like this better than Comet Cyclone right now because people are siding in Lanceas. It's at 3, so why not? This is a going second card. So if you end up siding in and let's say you lost game 1 or you won game 1, I don't think you want to really like go second playing a full trap deck. So you want to obviously have everything set up. But, you know, in case you lose, you're going to probably side this into there. It's a very broken card. I don't know. Bringing this card to 3 was not a big mistake, but it was a very beneficial for people that don't care whether this card goes off or not. 1 to 3, this is a very broken card. The irony on Ray Reboot is I lose to this card, but I'm siding it. So I have lost to this card so many times at locals, it's ridiculous. But you have to play this to counter their Red Reboot or Solemn Judgments, because this card will win you the game or will cause you to lose. It's one or the other. Anti-Spell Fingers, I cut it down to 2. I was playing 3. 2 I think is fine. You're really just scared of Lightning Storm and Twin Twister. Well, if they don't have the Twin Twister, then yeah. If they have Twin Twister, they're gonna definitely hit this first, so you lose really just one back row. They know what this is already. But yeah, I think 2 of these was fine. I did pretty well with 2 of these. And I was maining these before, but now I side them. Solemn Judgment at 3, because it was actually 2 Solemns and 3 of these. But this I think is a lot better. So basically negates basically anything when it hits the field. So it's a very, very broken card. Obviously, I don't know what Konami was thinking of bringing this to 3, but yeah. So yeah, like I said, this was actually the build I did play at Oaks, Pennsylvania, at the regionals, when I went 7-2 with it at the end of the day. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys actually think about the deck. If there's any other recommendations that you guys would suggest, I will gladly take it into consideration. Without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and Wing Creeper 1 is out.